Okay, I'd like to call the Albany Selectmen meeting of September 14th to order at 5:30 p.m. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Where's Rob's? Where's Rob's?
What's your name?
You see, that's me.
Oh, sorry.
Today only.
Today only.
Where's yours?
I'm amongst the missing.
Here we go.
Found my name. Who am I? Alrighty then, new business, approval of the August 24th Selectmen meeting minutes.
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
Any discussion?
No.
Call to a vote, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Approval of the September 14th consent file that consists of review and sign manifests in the amount of $6,642.20, $2,578.10, and $4,702.30 to include payroll, accounts payable for 8/31, 9/7, and 9/14. Review, discuss, and approve a deny residential building permit application for map 6, lot 29. Review, discuss, and approve a land use change tax, Form A5 for map 6, lot 16 in the amount of $3,000. Review, discuss, and approve land use change tax, Form A5 for map 7, lot 112 in the amount of $750. Motion? Anybody?
Make a motion to approve the consent file of September 14th.
My second.
Any discussion?
No.
Okay. I'll call to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Review, discuss, and approve a signed agreement with Mapping and Planning Solutions for the update to the local hazard mitigation plan for 2022. I'll make a motion to sign the agreement with Mapping and Planning Solutions for the local hazard mitigation program plan update for 2022.
Second.
Discussion. Call to a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Review and discuss the request for a proclamation recognizing September 25th through October 1st as Childhood Cancer Awareness Week in Albany. Make a motion that we sign this proclamation.
A second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Review, discuss, and approve a deny a request for an abatement of a parking ticket. Do you have further information on this, Kelly?
It was in your packets, so, a gentleman got it's actually a camping ticket.
Okay.
On past the Conway Road this past weekend. I don't even have the ticket yet, so I emailed Deputy Rowe, on Monday, and and I asked him if there was any, and I sent him the email that the gentleman sent me, and I asked him if he had any further information that he would like to share with the Board of Selectmen, and he wrote back and said, yep. He said, I stopped him for the same thing in July and gave him a warning, and he told me he wouldn't do it again, and he did it again, so he got a ticket. And just wanted you to know that he had received the warning. So he says, yes, I wrote that. He was sleeping in his car. This is the second time. Last time was 7/9/22. He was illegal camping. The first time he received a warning, I explained that car camping is illegal, and he chose to do it again. So this time he got a ticket.
I'll make a motion to deny the request for abatement of a parking ticket.
A second.
Discussion. Call to a vote. All in favor?
Go ahead and talk if you want.
That's what discussion's for.
No, I mean, I obviously have hard feelings. I mean, I feel badly
Mm-hmm.
for this person, and especially the amount is a
Mhm.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said it before. It's very hard for me to say, yeah, let's give this person a $250 ticket. But yeah, he's been warned before.
If you read where.
That's my thing, is he's been warned before. He was told not to do it. He said he wasn't
Yeah,
going to
he
do it, and then he did it
volunteered
again.
that. When he asked for the abatement, I told him he had to put it in writing to the Board of Selectmen, because I couldn't abate,
Mhm.
and I would put it before you. And he had said, hi, my name is such and such, and on 9/4, at 1:43 a.m., I was pulled over on the side of the Kingmakers Highway and was cited for parking camping violation. I know it was wrong of me to park there. If there's any way I could get a reduction for the $250 ticket, not it completely overlooked. I work very hard for the valley, and I'm not going to do it again. But he did do it again.
Right.
Like, I mean, and obviously it was a point because Steve actually even had the date he gave him the warning, so it was a formal warning.
Right.
He kind of did do it again.
That's why I would
Right.
stick with the
Yeah.
denial.
Okay.
Well, and if you cut it down, I mean, I understand it's a hardship. In 2020, before you guys were on the board, we had looked at all the fines on the tickets because there were so many of them. We thought that it wasn't onerous enough that people kept doing it because they thought it was cheaper than going to a campground. I'll just pay the $20 ticket or the 30. So our ticket is still considerably less than the state's or the U.S. Forest Service tickets for the same infraction. We tried to bring it up, but not so much that it's that painful, but we want to discourage that
Right.
behavior
Right.
of people sleeping on the side of the road.
I
It's
agree.
not safe.
Not these
Talking
days.
about fatal accidents. I
Yeah.
mean, I wouldn't want to be parked on the
Yeah.
side of the road,
Yeah.
sleeping in my car.
So,
Yeah.
any further discussion? And then I will call it to a vote again. All in favor of denying the abatement request? Aye.
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 Town administrators report.
So the only thing I have is talking about the process and the prep for this informational public meeting on Wednesday, September 28th, immediately following your business meeting in a large meeting room. DOT has provided a project development process. So this kind of gives the preliminary design, public hearing plan, like it kind of gives the process that they're going through. And
Yeah.
a thumbnail sketch of, how it works. And then they also provided a survey card that they're going to pass out at the meeting and then leave, so that if you know anybody to give it to, that it's gonna have their mailing address on the back and people can send them back separately.
Okay.
Hopefully.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. And then there's this Albany 29597 fact sheet. So this also gives you some project history, some existing conditions, and kind of where we are with the data. So somebody asked me, I think the woman that lives out in Tabor Circle, that lives in the Wildwood neighborhood, she's been emailing DOT about the intersection at 113. She asked me what all the data collection included, and and I explained, it's not really my place to tell you. I defer to DOT, but I know the survey work was part of the data collection, drainage issues is part of the data collection, but also this natural resource and cultural resource study that they do is part of the data collection, and obviously any and all informational public meetings. So this is an informational public meeting, and then they will have a more formal public hearing
Great.
to try to hone in on the scope of the work. So I think that's helpful as well. And then they gave us a sample of a letter that I guess they're going to send to Albany residents. Just notifying them of the meeting and the project. I believe the project is also viewable on DOT's website, so people can look it up. I have some information on it as well if somebody asked me for it. And then there's the press release. It's a lot to put in the paper. I've already
Yeah.
put a public notice
It's
in,
like a
but I would
page.
certainly put a link to this on our website if people are looking for more information,
Mm-hmm.
and I can post this on the front door.
How about posting all of this, like a link to it or something, or?
Okay. Yeah.
Are these gonna be, do you know if this is gonna be a handout?
Well, that's what I'm trying to, because they print it in draft form, so I'm trying to get your take on, I don't mind printing these if they give me the formal
Yeah,
form,
yeah.
or that I can ask them to bring them, yeah, I
Yeah,
think that they do
I think
need
it
to
should
be.
be a handout. I think-
Yeah, but I also
agree.
think, but if we put it on the website, because there'll be people that can't make the meeting, and,
Uh-huh.
or that.
But they're
like that-
interested.
Yeah, like that Linda Lynn, she said, can my letter be read into the meeting? And I said, absolutely, I'll provide it to the chairperson and to DOT, and they will attach it as part of the minutes and can read it into the record. And then the other piece, even though it's really hard to read, this is what this is what Kelly and I saw when we met with them. They have this in 2 sections, and it's like each
It's as
one's
big as
like
this
10
table.
foot long.
Yeah.
It was hanging over the
So,
edge of the table.
They're willing to put, you know,
Oh,
they're
okay.
gonna use the dividers that we use for the elections and pin it to those, and then people can really get a good, it's hard to see it this small, and I will include it in the handouts, but I think when you see it, you know, you can see the stretch of road better and kind of visualize where you are on
Right.
16.
And I think it mentioned something in the email about Kelly as like the point person. You're gonna be like the point person for this,
Well-
or
We're gonna have the chair, but if,
I'm gonna run the meeting,
yeah,
but he's the knowledgeable
Okay.
one, he's the one
for like
kinda
af-
heading this project.
Yeah.
It's still gonna be a selectman meeting,
Yeah,
so we should run it as a selectman meeting.
like but for after, if anybody, you know.
yeah, I mean,
Yes.
I'm familiar with the people that are gonna
Okay.
be here, and, I don't know. I have reached out to a few people.
And I'm sure they'll offer
And I'm gonna,
contacts
we'll give
for
them time to
residents
do
and stuff.
that, yeah. I'm hoping to talk to Jason here pretty soon to, I don't know how he conducts the meeting, I think it's pretty, step by step with no interruptions, so we'll have to have I think they do a good job.
I would like to set rules because we will be running it. I want to set rules that, you know, each person will be limited to, say, 3-minute comment. Give the DOT a chance to respond
So is the select board meeting happening at the
before.
Before.
Like,
So
we'll start at
5:30, so
5:30.
we'll-
We'll do our regular meeting,
yeah.
and then Oblique 5:30,
Oh, okay. Oh,
and
okay.
then
Just like
Just-
on a regular,
okay.
just like on a regular,
Yeah.
just like on a regular Wednesday
Yeah.
night meeting, you know, we come in
Okay.
here at 5:30, we'll do the business of the meeting, anything to sign, checks, and then at 6
And
o'clock.
then we'll
we'll
go
see
over.
them
Okay.
here and-
Because it did say 5:30.
no,
I-
I saw 6.
Yeah, I think he says in the letter that it's
Okay.
immediately following the
Begins, right, got
selectmen's
it.
business meeting, which starts at 5. Like,
Okay.
it's hard to notice it, because I don't want people to think, oh my God, they met for a half hour before we even, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
right.
you still having your regular
Right.
business meeting, and then we'll go into the,
Yeah.
and I think we'll need the bigger room to spread out and for
Absolutely.
everybody to see everything. So,
Just one more thing, Kelly. I think the data that we received in our other packet with the accidents and the fatals and the animals and the
Yes.
going off the road would be
Yes.
great to include
okay,
in
in that first packet.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
so-
very
Yeah,
informational.
they didn't put that in the second one, did they?
No,
Data from first, add data from first package.
yeah, I really liked that. I liked taking a look at that
Well,
over the
that's
past
where I-
10 years of data.
That's where I saw that the one accident over the line,
And that was just from 2010 to 19.
right.
It doesn't include
And that's
2020.
the
and-
confusing part of the whole thing, is a lot of it ended in 2015. And then this is a lot of it's old data. So, we're
You
gonna,
can only
Well,
just
I think the one thing you
move
can
forth.
say,
I mean,
Yeah.
at least this is something, and
and I think the one thing you can say is the traffic hasn't gotten any less since
Oh, gosh,
2015,
no.
or 16, or 17, or
Right.
18, you know, it just
gotten
keeps
more,
escalating.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gotten
Um,
way heavier.
anything else, Kelly?
I just wanted to let you know, so, they also told you how to ask for a reduction in the speed limit.
Yes.
That's, they have to do a study, and then there's a process, so that was in the first email that you got. So I'll tell them we're gonna do that other data sheet. And then I have invited the governor, the Madison Board of Selectmen, the Tamworth Board of Selectmen, the Madison Public Works Director, the Police Chief and Fire Chief of Madison, Lieutenant Joseph Shackford from Troop E, Sheriff Rishardi, Chief Solomon, Madison DPW Director, and then Reps Nurk, McConkey, and McAleer. Curtis knows, and I remind him every time I see him, because sometimes he gets really busy. North Country Council, I don't know if Michelle Moran Gray is coming, the director, but definitely Nick Altanaga, the traffic person for them, is coming. Howard Hatch, I let him know. Rick Hyland was interested, and then Lisa Lind. And I'm kind of copying Jason Ayat on this, and I also reached out to Jason separately and said, like, there could be a lot of people because of the fatal accidents that have more questions than just the project, so you might want to bring somebody that's up the food chain that has more information on just, you know, what the particulars are with state, you know, not just 16, but what have they done on 101 and 202, and because we're not the only ones in the state addressing this. So
What about Jeb Bradley?
Just thinking of that. We've invited him to other things.
I can invite him.
I mean,
It's not like I'm trying to leave anybody out.
Yep.
So they,
No.
you know, we throw it out there.
I'm
and if
hoping he
they're-
would have an interest
Yeah.
in the safety of our highway. Anything else?
That's where we are. You guys are okay with that if I add the detail one to this packet?
Yes.
All right, so then I'll let them know, and then they can make these, take them from, so this is going up their food chain as well?
Yes, exactly.
He can't
Right.
do handouts without
Right.
everybody reviewing them.
Perfect.
So I think you're gonna run the meeting,
Yep.
you're gonna run
whatever.
the talking
Yeah.
point a little bit.
Yeah.
I think DOT will do a good job.
And I'm just,
of
I'm basically gonna open it up and
getting
we
some
can
ground
introduce and then
Set
we're just
some
gonna
ground
hand it.
rules.
I'm gonna set
Set
the
the ground
ground rules,
rules.
but then I'm gonna hand it over to them
Yeah.
and let them go. And then if I need to step in, I will step in and say 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll try to figure out, even though people aren't RSVPing, who they are, so that you can kind of do an introduction, but I think basically the head table, I think, would be DOT and you guys, right?
Yes.
Because it's
Yeah.
your meeting,
Mhm.
you two, and then the other people in the audience, and they can get up and identify themselves.
Yes.
Should we set up the podium and people can speak from there?
Have him
Or do you
step
want to
up.
let them, I mean, the room is small enough, I think, that if people congregate together and don't drag their chairs to the back of the room, that people can just stand up in the crowd and say who they are and what their question is, but it depends on how formal you wanna.
Well, one of the problems we've had in the past with town meetings is Valley Vision couldn't hear
The question.
clearly.
Right. Yeah.
It was more of a mumble. So that's why, even though people were speaking into a microphone, it was just going to the camera. It wasn't going to the speakers.
Right.
But we do have a speaker set up.
Yeah.
But that would require a speaker on top of a speaker, one for Valley Vision, one for
Is that something
The
we
sound.
should talk to Valley Vision about?
talk to my friend Ed that knows how to set it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We need bigger brains.
It's that thing in the treasurer's office, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any idea how to set that up.
Kind of do, but it's been a couple of years, so Ed always helped me because that's his thing. Not really professionally his thing, but he was in a band.
At Albany?
Mm-hmm.
I believe there's gonna be enough law enforcement there that there's not gonna be too many problems.
Thinking that's
As long as they show up, who I
no,
think
but
is gonna
it's just
show up.
so everybody can hear and it can be heard on Valley Vision as
Yeah.
well.
I'll call Ed and see if he'll give me a hand setting it up, because we can set it up anytime now. Nobody's using that room between now and the 28th, so if he is willing to come in some evening and help me set it up, or make arrangements with one of you if I'm not here,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll see what I can figure out.
Okay.
That's it
That's
for me.
it. All right. Appointments was a public hearing that's been canceled because we had already held our second public hearing for the second tranche of the American Rescue Plan, ARPA, in the amount of $39,310.97. The meeting was held in 2021. just so it could continue to be unanticipated funds and spent as such. Old business, Chapel Historical Society, and we got a little response from
I did.
Our town attorney.
I came for a status report, and he did say that, they got a new person at Charitable Trust, so he just thinks it'll be easier to clear the title if he has their buy-in, because this was originally a nonprofit church. So he is, I don't know what cypress is, but it's a legal term, I guess. So he's finalizing the pleadings now, and will be sending over a final version to us and to the state for charitable trust review and approval. He thinks it'll need a public hearing before the town. So as soon as he has what we need to disclose, he's going to get back to us. So that seems to be moving forward pretty well.
That's nice.
Finally, we're getting some traction.
Federal Land Access Program, anything new?
Yes, so I sent out the email to sheriffs, Chief Solomon, Eldridge Transportation, which does the busing for Conway now, Jim Innes, because there's a campground down there by the covered bridge, and asked them to please put in writing how they would feel and what the life safety issues and the concerns would be for closing that road for 2 to 4 months, because that's what the geotech. So I got a response from Jim Innes, I got a response from Chief Solomon, I got one from Dominic Rishardi, the sheriff. So I'm gonna put those together and send them to Josh at HEB and have him do a cover letter, kind of tying that all together.
That'd be great.
Engineering wise, this
That'd
is
be
a
great.
non-starter. Here's why.
Yes.
So a cover letter that kind of ties all those things together, and then send it to
I like that.
program manager
I like
at
that.
USDOT. And I think you guys should be prepared that it's probably gonna make the project start from scratch. 'Cause
Yeah.
to do it properly, and you know that, to do it properly, we're gonna have to find a way to make another lane on that inside of the hill,
Yeah.
which is going to be
Yeah.
more than the money that was allocated.
Right.
So I think we still have a good chance of getting the grant, because the grant was already pre-approved. It's
Right.
getting more grant money put with it and starting it up again, and but we have to do it because we have to do it right. There's only one way to
that's
do
right.
it, and it isn't closing that road.
We can't.
So
Impossible.
yes, again, getting a little traction and moving that project forward very slowly.
Alrighty then. Other business and board reports. The planning board, we met on Monday evening. We had a preliminary consultation for a revised site plan review for Auntie Cindy's pet care. And basically there's an interested buyer, and they just wanted to make sure that they wouldn't have to, as new owners, go through a site plan review. Their use is not changed, there's no change in use, and the board voted unanimously to not have them go through site plan review unless they change their use. That was our big thing for Monday evening. Carroll County Broadband, I spoke with Rick Highland the other day. He'll probably be approaching the Board of Selectmen to put a warrant article in next year's warrant for joining a communications district. He'll be going to all the towns in the county, and I told him we would definitely be interested and would love to hear him, what it's all entails when that time comes. We had our elections yesterday. Everything seemed to go pretty smoothly. It was slow as it was across the whole state, but that's a primary for you. Anything else you can think of? Did you have fun on your first election working?
I did.
And you had so much fun, you get to do it again in November.
Yes. Yay. So much fun.
November 8th.
All right.
Whether you want to or not.
The law says.
Yeah,
Uh,
that'll be a kind of big one. I'm
That
sure.
will, it won't, it's not gonna be a 75% turnout, but it could come to 65.
Yeah, I think you'll have a lot more people when you get in the primary, which kind of makes it more interesting for you guys, isn't it? If there's a little more traffic.
Oh, a little bit, well, there's more people to talk to and.
Yeah.
Exactly. A little
More people to
interesting.
visit with.
More people.
Well, I mean, it's good to, you know, you don't get a lot of opportunities to see a lot of people in
Right.
one place at one time.
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Kelly?
I had my first TAC meeting Friday,
Oh, nice.
Lancaster, right around the corner. But,
Did you go up or was it a Zoom?
It's on this Friday.
Oh, this Friday.
Yeah.
Is it a Zoom or do you have to go up?
It doesn't say anything about Zoom. I'm gonna call tomorrow and see if they do that, but it doesn't say nothing about Zoom, so I might have to Zoom to Lancaster. But I think I'd like to be there in person for the first one anyway.
Meet
Just to
everybody in
do
person.
introductions, yeah. And to, give heads up on what's going on with this, like, I'm sure they're aware, but it is a big part of what they do.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Maybe they'd have some input.
Maybe they have someone show up,
Um,
and that's that.
Maybe we could also comment, we had our first hazard mitigation update meeting via Zoom. It was very well attended, I thought,
It was, she was very happy.
other than when I went out of service.
That's been one she.
Few people went out of service early, so I don't know, those Zoom meetings.
No, but we had 3 attendees from the White Mountain National Forest, and
Yeah.
I thought that was fantastic. That was the first. We've had such a great response there. Hoping for the same attendance at our next meeting, which is
Next Tuesday, September 20th at 10
10 a.m.
a.m. via Zoom.
Zoom.
And I think everybody that was on the list has already gotten the link.
Okay.
So if anybody didn't get the link, you should call me.
Anything else? All right. Correspondence. Review and discuss EOT letter regarding Reach the Beach 200-meter relay, 9/16 and 17. That's their typical every year race that they run through a small part of town. I don't think there's anything for us to approve at this point. Any questions on that? Review and discuss Wolfboro zoning board notice for a wireless communication. Is this because we're in a butter?
I'm not sure that we're actually in butter. I think it's one of those regional impact.
Okay, that's, okay,
I
gotcha.
think cell towers
Yep,
have regional impact because it
Yep.
might improve our service here.
yep. We'll see. Review and discuss letter from Charter Communications quarterly franchise fee. Ooh, did we get it? What did we get, $1,000?
1,700, I
Ooh.
think. And, look, 1724.35. Do you know how much we got last year? $6,000.
Really?
Yes. We're rolling in it now.
Huh,
Yeah, we get a couple small ones and then there's a couple larger ones.
wow.
I looked it up because I didn't think it was that much.
Right,
So I
no,
looked up
it never
last year.
has.
Six grand, a little over $6,000.
Wow. And the final, review and discuss letter from Charter Communications reprogramming changes, shutting off channels.
Oh, you gotta read it, actually.
What are they taking away from us?
Cease programming on the Olympic channel.
See?
And TV 1000 Russian Kino guide will be updated.
Darn it.
That's worth reading.
What am I to do?
You're not gonna know what to do. The kids are
And
gonna be so
Spectrum
upset.
will watch Caracol television in HD. Don't know what that is.
Very interested.
There you go. We lost 2 in game 1.
Ooh.
Look at, we're still 1 down.
Ooh. Public comment. Hi, Dorothy.
Hi, I was wondering about last night's election. I hope I'd be able to pick up some of the, what happened at the end of the election.
The results.
The results.
I don't have them. She doesn't give them to me. She sent them to the paper. She sent them to the Conway Daily Sun and the Associated Press and all the list of
They
people
should
that
be posted on the website.
Well, you see, I've got a small problem. I don't have that computer.
Oh,
It's being
what
fixed.
happened? Oh.
So, okay, I'll try to get in touch with the Sun and see if they can send it.
Next time, actually, oh no, I was gonna say you don't have a computer. You could ask to be on her email list and she could send you the results as well.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to ask to be on the email list because if she provides them to me, I can put them right up on the website the next morning because she was here this morning from 11 to 2:30, but I'm usually here earlier on the day after election and I'll put them right on the website. And because people, I don't know why, but I used to always get them and then I haven't gotten them since, I think Kathy Ryan, they just stopped giving them to me and I think it's, people are curious.
Absolutely.
And it's better if we can just refer. If they get in the habit of checking the website the next morning, then that's less calls to all of us.
Exactly. And the same thing with like a sample ballot. I didn't think to tell her, but
I did put that. She gave me the absentee stuff like a month ago, and I did put that like a big thing on the front page to go to the election page and get the sample so you could see it in the affidavit you have to do and stuff. But then she didn't give me the sample ballot and stuff. So
One person caught us on that,
I think I'll follow up on that.
not having the sample. Nobody else really.
it was the end of the night.
Well, normally I get that before I leave, but I had to take my husband home yesterday.
He looked tired. He put in a full day.
He put in good time. He's never done it before, so,
Yeah.
and he has to take pills.
Did good,
At
though.
8 o'clock, he has to take his pills. So
Everyone did great.
You did good. Anything else? No. All right. Non-public session as necessary. Anything tonight? Alrighty. Next meeting is September 28th at 5:30 p.m. with our DOT public information meeting beginning right after that. We're approximating about 6 o'clock and we'll move over to the big town hall to have that. Adjournment.
You gotta say
Yes.
it. You gotta
Somebody
say it.
say it.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second. 6:03 p.m.